Hey everyone, how's it going? Well, it's a very hot day where I'm at today, 90s. Yuck. Today I'd like to talk to you about the significance of the number 4 in the Bible and the Apocrypha. 4 is represented in the Hebrew language as the Dalet. And there's multiple meanings. There's good and always a positive and a negative meaning to Hebrew words or letters, okay? It depends on the vowel used. And I'm talking the ancient Hebrew, so you know. But the number 4 is very significant in the Bible, and I don't think we grasp the actual idea of it because it's kind of less known. You know, we have 12, we have 7, etc. We have 3, the Trinity, all the whole bit. But the number 4, at its core, means window, door, gate, something to go through, something to pass through. It also can have significance with the Holy Spirit, and that'll tie in later. But the number 4 is something that, you know, it's always task-driven. It's a labor, and it can be good or bad, but it's usually both. It may look bad, but it's actually a good thing. And when we take the Bible, we could talk about Noah, 40 days, 40 nights, okay? It's also in the construction. How many people were in the ark that Noah has? 4. Excuse me. In the ark, there was 8 people. That's 2 sets of 4, okay? We don't see it that way. I see it that way. Like 8 breaks down to 4. I'm a numbers person. You know, even for me, we have 12 apostles. Well, that I see 3 when I see the number 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, it's a sickness. I've had it since I was a kid. But it also represents Trinity. So anytime in the Bible when there's 4s or multiples of 4s, the book of Daniel, the building of Solomon's temple, these are all tasks and trials. The more multiples you have, the more enduring or the less hard it is. But once you get down to the solid number of 4, like just 4 itself is a very powerful number. Okay, we have the 4 horsemen in Revelation. Okay, see, but there's a multiplier within the number 4, the first horseman, the second horseman, third horseman, fourth horseman. But the 4 itself is powerful and devastating. Okay. But we see it as horrific, and yet one of the secrets of the number 4 is God's glory. Okay. There always has to be a witness. The Trinity plus 1 is 4. And even with the 4 horsemen, that's representation, I believe. And if you see the numbers and the patterns throughout the Bible and the Apocrypha, they all kind of make a little bit of sense. I don't think we'll ever grasp it wholly. But once you see how this affects the beauty and the merits within the Bible, I have a friend that sends me emails all the time about different things that he sees through the numerics, through the numbers. And it's mind-blowing, you know, it really is. But we see differently, but yet I see what he sees. And once it's shown to me, you know, but there's also patterns within patterns. Even throughout the Bible and the Apocrypha, there's always a number. Like, for instance, 40 is wouldn't even be like, might be a woe, okay? But the number 4 itself, that's pretty much 3 woes. I mean, as far as the devastation goes, that's like, whoa. 3 woes in the Bible is really bad. 2's bad. 1's, it's going to be a rough one. But the beauty of the number 4 is in the witness, okay? We are here truly, in essence, to witness, okay? I don't think people understand how we're supposed to witness, but we're supposed to witness through that door, through that gate, into our realm, through that window. We're supposed to witness. And it really is God's glory. Some see it bad, some see it negative, some see it good, but all in all, it's God's glory, power, and mercy. When you get to parts of the Bible and you start seeing patterns, they duplicate and they multiply, and you can almost see them jumping out the screen, at the pages from you, or the screen for some people. But that truly is the nature. I mean, when you look at, if we go back to Noah's Ark, okay, there's 8 people. Well, 8's a really odd number in the Bible, but if you see it as witnesses, 2 sets of 4, kind of makes sense. Now, it may not make sense for a lot of people, but it is. And if there's 2 sets, it's 2-natured, okay? Just like we are 2-natured. We are spirit and we are physical, good and evil, etc. There's always, there's a duality, if you will, and I hate that word, but there's a duality to the nature, just like the Hebrew language. If you change the vowel, it's good and bad, and sometimes the vowel doesn't have to be changed, but it can mean 2 different things, positive and negative, in context. But the truth is, without us, no one would witness God's glory. And I'm not trying to put us in some kind of hierarchy here, but we truly are here to witness. If God hadn't created man, who would witness God's glory besides the angels in this physical realm? Well, no one, maybe the animals, but this realm was made with God's glory and understanding. I mean, why do you think he made the animals? Why do you think he made this? Why do you think he made all these things? But 4 is a very powerful number, and I've been seeing it a lot lately, so I thought I'd bring it up. I mean, once you see it, you can't unsee it half the time. For instance, like for the apostles, 12 apostles, I see 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. Like I said, it's a sickness. I take numbers and I add them together really quickly. So it's just one of those things, and I usually bring it down to its core number. And there's a lot of multiples within the Bible as far as numbers go. And if you're just willing to see it, but don't forget, the original language of the Old Testament is Hebrew. And there's 22 letters in the ancient Hebrew. And each letter has a numeric value. Now, they call that gematria, but it really isn't necessarily this guise of, oh, look, it's a number sequence. But it is. I mean, I don't follow the gematria itself. But if you take the numbers and add them up, it's pretty impressive as far as what the numbers can add up to and what they mean on top of that. So definitely something to look at. But anyway, the number 4 is a very powerful number in the Bible. Okay, when Jesus, right near the end times, the angels of the 4 winds, they're about ready to let this devastation go. The angels of the 4 corners, the 4 winds, and they're getting ready to do this, but they have to mark, God's people first. 4 corners, 4 winds, 4 angels. 4. Again, we look at these things as if they're very bad, but yet it's God's glory. It's God's glory. It's God's will. Anyway, just a couple thoughts for you to make you think, if you will. Again, I'm not a person that goes, 444-333-222. That's kind of there may be some significance in that, but that is really kind of a new age thing that they like to popularize. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. But there is something to the number 4. And again, God's glory always needs a witness. Even in, let's just take the rapture, or the other school of thought is enduring till the end. If all the good people are taken in the rapture and all the bad people are left behind, let's say, there has to be someone that God will set aside to witness his glory. And that's that person's, that's their design, that's their nature, that's God's will. But all the bad people aren't there just to see it, to go through these trials and tribulations without a person set aside by God, or saint, holy, if you will. Anyway, food for thought. Talk to you soon.